that? Holy cow. We are at the 6:30 hour, or half hour, on Monday. Just another manic Monday. Oh boy, we're going to give everybody a couple of seconds. It's only 6:30. Don't rush. There's too much rushing going on in the world. You don't have to rush to catch the Steve Squared Show. We go at a nice, slow pace. Nice, slow, methodical pace. You're just getting home. You want to pet the dog, pet the cat, pet the kids, pet whoever you need to pet. Give the spouse a peck on the cheek. You know, how was your day? I'll wait for you. Go ahead. I got nothing to do. I'm here. Get adjusted to the home. You know, maybe, little Timmy, there's a note from school. You get hit with that when you walk in the door. Maybe, the car, somebody crashed the car. Digest it all. Ingest your Monday horror. Because what you're going to do, you're going to take all of that horror and you're going to put it on the shelf until 7:30 after the Steve Squared Show. Then you're going to take all that trouble back and you're going to swallow it whole and enjoy it for the rest of the evening. But not for this hour. No, sirree, Bobby. From 6:30 to 7:30, you're mine. And that means I want you to sit back, microwave maybe a pot pie, maybe some soup, right? It's getting chilly out there. I look outside. It's dark outside. This is just terrible. The weather, oh my gosh. Anyway, we'll get to all of that, so much more. We got weather to discuss. We have a big weekend, my dad's birthday weekend to discuss. The sexiest man alive to discuss. If that's not at the tip of your tongue, what is? We have so much to talk about. Steve-O is in L.A. He will not. He was going to zoom in, but of course he's not. We're going to review. Who doesn't love Clifford the Big Red Dog, who's now going to be on the big screen? So the dog should look enormous. I'm excited about that, and we'll talk a little about dogs. Looking for a steak? You've come to the right place. Also, maybe some money-saving tips. Those prices, have you looked outside what's going on? It's scary. The prices are soaring on everything. Even the dollar store is $3 now. It's now the $3 store. Things have gone haywire, except when you're here. The Steve Squared Show puts it all, he lays it down for you. He makes it all come together. Ties a bow, makes it all make sense. So we're going to get started. Let's get it rocking and rolling. We got all that plus more, only on the Steve Squared Show.
Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? I am one of those melodramatic fools, neurotic to the bone, no doubt about it. Sometimes I give myself the creeps.
Yeah, I always do.
Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking out. And am I just paranoid? Am I just up?
Oh yeah. That's right. Am I just paranoid enough or am I just scared? I'm both. Welcome to the Steve Squared Show. I'm your host, Funny Man Stevie K, on November 15th, 6:34. Temperature is probably a balmy 40-something degrees outside. If that, it is chilly. Put on a coat, get a sweater. You know me, I'm always repping dumbbells. So I don't care what the weather is. I'm always going to be in my t-shirt repping dumbbells. Coming to a streaming network near you, hopefully soon. I got to start recasting it, shooting it. I'm not satisfied with the initial trailer of dumbbells. I need to recast it. It's so hard to get people to express my thoughts. Do you understand? I have an idea in my head, but yet the world doesn't play out as much. Do you understand? If I could just control everything, it would be so much better. I can control traffic lights. I just sat at a traffic light for 10 minutes. I am not lying. It is terrible. I sat at a red light, not because of traffic. The light didn't for some reason change. 10 minutes. I mean, that you should get that back at the end of your life. Somebody should be tallying these wasted minutes up when you're at that final moment of your life and say, look at this. You've been credited with 3 weeks. You got 3 more weeks. Go ahead. We were going to take you now, but because of all the red lights, the lines you've sat on, all of the constant minutia, we've tallied it up, and it comes to 3 weeks and 2 days. Enjoy. The Grim Reaper will visit you then. You got another month. Go enjoy. Stay on some more lines. Wait for your number. That's all we do. We wait. 42, 43. You just wait and you stand with your little number. It's terrible. And not only that, but now you're waiting to buy something that cost a fortune. You got to mortgage little Timmy now. Now you got to put your kids up. You got to make monthly payments on the old pot roast. If you went out there and bought something, it's out of control. And we're going to give you some money-saving tips. I'll start with one right now. The holidays are coming. Invite nobody. Tell them you're going away. Right? Don't invite everybody over and put all of that on you. Say like a Christmas dinner, a Thanksgiving. Don't have everybody fly in. We're away. Do what what the Cranks did. You see that movie Christmas with the Cranks with Jamie Lee Curtis and Tim Allen? They told everybody they were going away so they didn't have to host and pay all that money. Do that. There's your first Steve Squared money-saving tip of the day. You want another one? I'll tell you what. Go buy a bidet for your bathroom. Then you don't have to buy $20 worth of toilet paper every other day. I have a friend, a client that bought a bidet. They're loving it. I personally think it's a little gross. Anyway, what a weekend we had. I mean, did you all survive? What weather we had the other day.
It's a twister! It's a twister!
Oh boy, it was a twister. So it was my dad's birthday weekend. My dad, again, happy birthday. Boy, every parent in America should have me for a son. I'm telling you this right now. I am not holding back. I am not pulling punches. Everybody who's a parent I should be the Wikipedia for son of the child of the whatever. But I only say that because I know they're watching. But my whole family, me, my brother, my sister, my dad had a great birthday weekend. On Saturday was his actual birthday, so it started out great. We had that photo shoot from Newsday because they're doing that piece on my dad for making models, right? So the reporter came the week before. This Saturday, the photographer came, took some nice shots of my dad, me and my dad. It was great. I always I get myself in no matter what. One way or another, I'm getting in that Newsday. that paper that I have so mercifully destroyed over the years is now making a celebrity out of my dad, and he is just jazzed up. And I'm in too. I drank the Kool-Aid. I'm drinking the Newsday Kool-Aid, and it's delicious. It's a lot less expensive than the brand Kool-Aid that you can get in the store. So we did that. That was great. No problem. Then me and my dad go to the model store because that's what we do on his birthday. I promised we would go to the model store and pick out a model. So we drive to the model store, and I'm watching as we're entering towns, right? Wantor, Merrick. This is like the Long Island Railroad. Gets into Baldwin, and we're in Freeport. And the skies are getting ominously darker. Just like this. Oh, it was just like this.
It's a twister!
So we go to the model store. It's getting dark. The skies are getting eerily dark. We go into the model store. We start looking around, and I look outside. It is black as the night. And it's about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so it should not be that dark. I know we turned the clocks back, but this was not because of nighttime. This was the apocalypse is coming. So it was as black as the night. We hear this tremendous rumble. It shook the whole modeling store. Then there's big bolts of lightning. everybody at the same time, their phones go off, right? You get those alerts. Tornado warning. At least they give you enough time. It was about a 30-second warning. Tornado coming imminently. Find a basement. Or in my mom's case, the playroom. Because she insists that it's not a basement, she has a playroom. But find, get yourself to shelter. This is it. The store owner is on his phone. Should I close the store? The lights are blinking in the store. Kids are crying. Parents are screaming. My dad is sitting with two models going, I think I like the Corvette better than the Buick. I don't know. I like the Chevelle, but I can do this two ways. And this only has, Steve, this has 27. I go, Dad, we got to take cover. Put the two models down. Oblivious to the end of the world at our doorstep, at the modeling doorstep. It was there. I think I'll get the Buick. You gotta love him. I enjoy that. And then he looks up. Hey, it looks kind of dark out. I said, we gotta get into a car. I don't even know if the car is there. I think it blew away. The car was there. We get in the car. He gets the model. We get home. Okay. So that was good. Then the family came. It was wonderful. Oh boy, was it wonderful. So that was my weekend. But I do have a bone to pick. I'll give my dad one little needle since it's being broadcast on the show. I get my dad this gorgeous, beautiful, because we were into Popeye. I got him some Popeye t-shirts. We had taken a picture of each other wearing Popeye t-shirts, you know. And I got him a Popeye frame, a classic, ceramic, beautifully etched Popeye frame. It comes in a beautiful classic box. You can't get this box anywhere. I come home he goes through his birthday gifts, and look at this. I find the box crumpled and mashed in the garbage. He has no sentimental value. He cut out part of it to paste on the wall, which was nice. But the rest, I said, Dad, it's a great box. You want to keep that? I mean, I am a bit of a hoarder, but I have a lot. You know, I'm more of like that guy. My dad throws away everything. I go, where is the box? We go digging through. It was under some dried up banana peel and some nice, let me see, balsamic salad dressing. So I saved the box. I don't know why. Anyway, that's just the kind of guy I am. So I'll tell you the kind of guy I am.
I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts.
Yeah. Speaking of sexy, and I don't know why I'm speaking of sexy, but I will speak of it right now. The fantastically talented comedic artist Paul Rudd, named People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive. And nobody loves Paul Rudd more than me. In fact, here, let's give you a little Paul Rudd for one of his most classic scenes. This is from Anchorman.
Well, I'll give this little cookie an hour before we're doing the no pants dance. Time to musk up.
So he's opening his cologne drawer.
Never ceases to amaze me. What cologne are you gonna go with? London Gentleman or... Wait. No. Hold on. Blackbeard's Delight.
No. She gets a special cologne. It's called Sex Panther by Odeon. It's illegal in 9 countries. Yep. It's made with bits of real panther. So you know it's good.
It's quite pungent.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, it's a formidable scent.
He's putting the cologne
Stings the nostrils. In a good way. Yeah. Brian, I'm going to be honest with you. That smells like pure gasoline.
They've done studies, you know. 60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Oh.
60% of the time, it works all the time. It's one of the most classic lines in film cinema. The great Paul Rudd. That was Paul Rudd from Anchorman. So Paul Rudd, and I love Paul Rudd, all his movies. This is 40, 40-Year-Old Virgin. Everything's with 40. It's such a pivotal moment in our lives, 40. So he is named the sexiest man alive, which is kind of stupid, right? I thought they did away with this nonsense. I thought we were in this whole nonsense, you know, kumbaya, Everybody's beautiful. Everybody's beautiful. Nobody's more beautiful than somebody else, yet Paul Rudd gets named more beautiful than the rest of us, which is ridiculous. So I did a little investigating at the Steve Squared Show. You know what we do here. We go and we like to find out why this is...
This is so unfair!
It is truly unfair. So I wanted to find out some previous winners of the Sexiest Man Alive. Now, you really got to get out and campaign for this, I guess. This is not something that's bestowed. You got to really politic. You got to really, knock on some doors. Get the people out to vote for you, You don't... Forget about voting for president. That's nothing. That's nonsense. Sexiest Man Alive, that's where you should be going to the voting booths. Mel Gibson was, I think, the first, 1985. Sean Connery. Oh, let me tell you something about Sean Connery. That's my Sean Connery. He's going to either go to the morgue or he's going to go to jail. That's the Chicago way. That was my Sean Connery from The Untouchables. Tom Cruise, of course. Tom Cruise was just named like 12 times. Pee Wee Herman? No, I'm just kidding. Patrick Swayze, of course. The great Patrick Swayze from Dirty Dancing and Roadhouse. Richard Gere and Cindy Crawford one year. They named them the sexiest couple. Some nonsense. That was back in 93. Brad Pitt, Denzel Washington, Keanu Reeves. Not sure about Keanu. What do you think about that? He was good in Speed. I don't know what they're judging it on, what the criteria is. I won back in 98. I actually won 98 through 2000. That was my Triple Crown win. I won 98, 99, 2000. Then I said, that's enough. Give it to somebody else. Ben Affleck, right after myself, won. Johnny Depp. Of course Johnny Depp's going to win. Great hair on Johnny D. Matthew McConaughey. All right. Matt Damon. If Ben Affleck's going to win, Matt Damon's going to win. They do everything together. They should have won in the same year. Ryan Reynolds. I love Ryan Reynolds. Bradley Cooper. Channing Tatum. Sure. Chris Hemsworth. The Rock. You got to have The Rock in there. John Legend. Just a year or two ago. And of course, we finish up with Paul Rudd, 2021. But I don't know why they're still doing this. This seems very tacky to me. Something doesn't sit or taste right. It's got that taste in my mouth that just doesn't sit right. It's very, I don't know, a lot of hypocrisy. It's just this nonsense. This, you got something over on this side of the ledger, and then it balances out where you're still naming Sexiest Men Alive. I don't know. I just don't know. Hey, you looking for a good steak? Who isn't? Especially now when everything is so cheap. You get yourself... So you want to get a good steak, right? You're trying to save money. The first thing you want to do is go out and get yourself a $200 piece of steak. So they name... I won't say who. Newsday. They name, this week in the Feed Me section, they name some of the top steakhouses. Get yourself a nice carnivorous piece of steak. And they name some of the better restaurants. And they always name the same three. I don't understand. Blackstone in Melville. Bryant and Cooper in Roslyn. And Peter Luger. Wherever Peter Luger is. I think it's in like Garden City or something. But they name the same three stupid restaurants. I mean, we all know those already. Why isn't there other places that can make a piece of steak for under $200? Bryant and Cooper, here it is. You go to Bryant and Cooper, you get at Blackstone, you get the long T-bone, they say. Get the T-bone. And everything in a steakhouse is a la carte, right? Nothing comes on the side. You got to get a steak, and then they bring you over a $40 baked potato. And then, it's just very pretentious at a steakhouse. I don't eat red meat, as you well know. I live my life on pure Celsius. And this, I have found, has not been affected by the current inflation state of the economy on Long Island or everywhere else. So the Celsius is pretty much price capped. So when the prices are skyrocketing, I'm fine. I worry about my fellow Long Islanders because this is my diet right here. Celsius, and protein shakes. So that's pretty much not going to be affected by anything because it's been stored in some warehouse for the past 400 years. So the demand and supply, there's not a huge demand on that. Not like bread. Another way to save money is don't go for haircuts. Cut your own hair. That's another suggestion. I'll be coming up with them throughout the show. Cut your own hair. Get a scissor, get clippers, maybe ask a friend, make sure it's a friend that likes you, and get some, I'm just trying to give you some cost savings tips for you. This doesn't even look that good. This is the steak they put on the cover. You get it? Rare Company. I should write titles for papers. Anyway, so that is. See, you think I'm lying? Look at. You guys think I'm lying? Hold on a second. I'm going to show you I'm not lying. Right on the. Look at this. Boom. Feeling the squeeze. Inflation. This is enormous. I mean, gas prices. I like. It's just enormous. You're just paying all over the place, and it's crazy. And who knows what's. We need to get some calm. We need to find some calm, and I can't even my partner in crime, who's usually here with me, Steve. He is in L.A. Steve ran off to La La Land to go. He follows the monkeys around the country. I don't understand. There's only 2 of them left anyway. He visited some friends. He's seeing the monkeys, and I was interested because I've been to L.A. I wasn't so impressed. I mean, come on. Well, what do you prefer? Are you in New York? Are you a West Coast? East Coast? Do you like your New York? Do you like your LA? I always like to give some people some tips. So New York, LA. I go on and they rate them, which is better or tie, in some categories, right? So the weather. They give LA, even though I thought LA when I was there, it was cold, damp, had some smog. LA gets the nod because it is West Coast. West Coast is always better weather, especially we just got hit with a tornado, so. They give sightseeing, like the sights, a tie. I think New York has way more things to see than L.A. I mean, especially if you go up into the Bronx, into Harlem at about 3 o'clock in the morning on 155th Street. It's a lot of things to see up there. And unfortunately, you'll be on the stand testifying. Transportation, they get a tie. I don't know, because we have a lot of more public subways and transportation in New York City than LA. LA, their train's okay, but they don't have the amount, and their traffic is insane. So this seems like it's a more LA slanted piece who did this survey. Jobs, they said New York pays better and has a little more edge in jobs. Dating is a tie. They say there's more good-looking people in LA, which I find probably true. Have you ever been on a New York City subway and just taken a look around? It's not a pretty sight. I'm sorry, I have to say that.
You're tacky and I hate you.
That's so bad.
Wrong.
But I'm telling you, it's true.
Come on, don't bullshitter.
Denzel Washington. So food, they say, is a tie. Safety. Which city is safer? That's really hard because I think you can get robbed equally in both places. I think both places serve as an equal opportunity to be mugged, robbed, and have everything taken from you, especially if you're a tourist. You always know, even though you're city savvy in New York, you go to LA, you still have that wide-eyed, doe-eyed looking around. You don't know where to go, right? So you're a prime target. They say LA is filled with more healthier people, that more people are drinking alcohol in New York City. I believe that. I think LA serves as, when you have nicer weather, you can go outside more, exercise more. They have Muscle Beach out there and Santa Monica Pier. New York, especially this time of year, it's just sad. It's just dark and gloomy. So you go in and people just drink the winter away. And then they come and see me in the New Year's resolution. You'll be seeing me in January, I tell you that. Oh, I've been drinking and eating. So, all right, we'll give them the edge there. So that's just some of the things. But we'll get a more comprehensive analysis if Steve ever returns. If Steve is able to find his way back home to New York, we will ask him next Monday on the Steve Squared Show at 6:30 if what he found. I want to get Steve's opinion on some of these categories and see what he thinks. 6:55, and the temperature is a balmy 41 degrees. Anyway.
Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Clifford the Big Red Dog is going to hit movie theaters this week. Do you guys remember reading the book, Clifford the Big Red Dog? Really, it's one of those books you always remember, or characters you always have an affinity, a fondness for as a child. Just a big red dog. And he was friends with the little girl Elizabeth, and that. Actually, Clifford the Red Dog. Try to say that. Read my red dog. The big red dog, for those of you speaking on the English version, came out in 1963. It was by this, I wrote it down, what's his name? Norman Bridwell was an illustrator, and he wrote and drew this big red dog. And then he was asked to write a story to accompany the big red dog, and hence Clifford the Big Red Dog was a huge success. And the book came out, and so they have Clifford. When does this movie come out? Let me see. Here it is, Clifford the Big Red Dog. When does this hit? The cast is John Cleese is in it actually. The beloved oversized pooch helps out a middle schooler struggling to fit in to New York City. It's always a struggle. I don't know why it's always a struggle. It's a struggle for me. It's a PG rating. Could you imagine what could be in Clifford the Big Red Dog that warrants a PG rating? I'll tell you. For impolite humor. It says for impolite humor. My whole show is impolite humor. So I guess this show would be PG. It's an hour and 37 minutes, which is probably an hour too long. And it's streaming and in theaters currently. You can, right after the Steve Squared Show, if you are streaming the Paramount Network, or maybe you just want to go to the movies, right? You want to spend the rest of the evening after the Steve Squared Show, you can go watch Clifford the Big Red Dog. And say you don't want to watch that. Say you want something else a little lighthearted. Kenneth Branagh, the great thespian Kenneth Branagh, who I will tell you I know, is directing Belfast, which this is, boy, if you want some laughs, you go see this. It's about a young boy in Northern Ireland in the late 60s during the war-torn Ireland trying to grow up and navigate having nobody around but bombs and constant murder. It's just a fun, feel-good movie at the holiday time, filled with laughs, and of course the great Judi Dench. You can't have a movie with accents without Judi Dench. She's the go-to. We're doing a movie set in Ireland. Get Judi on the phone. We're doing a movie set in England. Get me Judi on the phone. Our phone must ring all the time. We need somebody with a snobby English accent. Oh, it's my pleasure. I say. If I walked around talking like that, I'd be cast for more parts. But no. Because I am from New York, I can't get cast for anything. Nothing. Not for one of these Northern Ireland flicks. Or even Clifford the Big Red Dog. I could have been in that movie. Anyway. This movie, this Drek, I don't even know who's in it, but Judi Dench is in it. I'll tell you that much. So how do I know Kenneth Branagh? I'll tell you. I was cast as a waiter many years ago in the great Woody Allen flick Celebrity, which was shot here in New York. My part was subsequently cut out, but that's for another story and another gripe. And even though I screamed, "This is unacceptable!" I went right into Woody Allen. "This is unacceptable!" And he said, "You get up, but actually Leonardo DiCaprio was in that movie, and Kenneth Branagh was the star. He was playing a writer. He was playing Woody Allen's life, kind of, in this movie. And so I got to see Kenneth Branagh, meet him, and things like that a little bit. And my part was cut. I was a waiter serving at the big scene when he goes back and thinks about when he was like the prom type of thing, and I like the old high school rah rah, and I was one of the waiters serving. And it was a great role for me. It was my chance. It was my kind of coming out role, coming out as a big actor, not coming out. It was my emergence. Let me try that again. It was my emergence as an actor. But I guess they didn't care. Woody didn't care for that scene because he just cut it right out. It's ridiculous. I need a little bit of this. This portion of the show is brought to you by Celsius. If you're tired, you just got home, you can't believe how many children you have. You got home and you were, did I have 3 kids? I thought I only had 2. Oh my God. You go to the fridge, you tell the kids, I'll be right there. You get yourself Celsius, and then you can really understand that you have 3 children, not 2, not 1. It wasn't a nightmare. You have 3 kids. Which, by the way, is another cost-saving tip. Little less on the children production. Sometimes go out to dinner instead and choose another option. A nice board game is always coming back into style. That is also can save you because you know how much a kid costs. Oh my Lord, right? That's a great sound. Only a Celsius makes that crackling, frosty sound like no other. Excuse me while I quench my thirst. That's good. Just perfect. Aged just right. Let's see what we got for you guys. Anyway. So we were talking a little East Coast, West Coast. We were talking movies. So yeah, definitely go see Clifford the Big Red Dog. I would see that. Obviously, I've mentioned Ghostbusters is coming out the 19th. So there's some movies coming out. So we will get into that a little bit. There was something else. So I told you. Yeah, there was a couple of other cost-saving tips. I mean, Thanksgiving's coming, and even turkey prices have gone up. I have seen this. Turkey prices have gone up as well. I don't know how bad the turkeys were hit by the pandemic and how well they are doing. I'm not sure how sick they are. But you might have to choose another option. So, again, I'm here for you. Nothing wrong with a lovely seagull. You get a beautiful roasted geese. You go right to the park. You trap one of those geese or goose. Maybe, if you have something, you get it down and you bring it home. Beautiful. Maybe like a nice fillet of owl is always a nice option. So there's options. We like to give options. Don't have to have turkey because it's Thanksgiving. I mean, I don't even think they had turkey at the first Thanksgiving. There was no Stop and Shop there. Oh, no. I don't remember John Standish Miles Smith or whatever his name is going on Peapod and ordering a fresh frozen turkey or a DoorDash delivering it to the pilgrims. No! They had to go out, hunted. I think they had more carrots and vegetables and corn, and the Indians showed them how to live off the land and how to, after they showed them everything and said, this is how you survive. Then the pilgrims said, thank you so much. Get out! That's my political province for this evening. With the chaos going on, right? Prices going up, and you don't know who to blame, what to do. And I love how all of those people that lobbied so hard, politicked for your votes, right? Just a couple of weeks ago, that Tuesday, please, can we count on your vote? Signs on every lawn, shoving signs on my car, signs on your house. Just please vote for us. Now it's gone. You don't hear a word of them. We don't know where they go for the next 4 years. They go back back and the tomb shuts for 4 years or 8 years or whoever knows how long they've been elected for. Sick of this crap.
Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
I do. I might have to switch this show away from Monday. I would be doing the show better on a Friday. I think Monday is I have a lot of anger built up from the weekend. So I imploded upon you poor squares out there. But I hope you're all doing well. I hope you all navigated that weather and everybody was okay. Levittown, I heard, got hit tremendous. I think they had a touchdown. Thanks to my sister, which I'll save for another time, yeah. But anyway, there was out east, the storm moved very quickly. It was like town to town to town, and it was really moving. They also said cereal is very expensive. I'm not really sure why. There seems to be an increase in the price of Raisin Bran and sugar corn pops. I tell you, once they start hitting sugar corn pops, you've created chaos in society. If you can't get a good buy, and I just don't understand. But hopefully they'll fix this. They also say a good way to save on electricity and lights and things like that is go to bed when it's dark and then wake up when it's light. See, the only problem is it gets dark at 4 in the afternoon, and usually some of us are still at work. So I don't know if this is the Little House on the Prairie guide to saving money, even though they didn't have electricity, right? They just turned the lantern on. Maybe you should do that. We should get lanterns, and then you go to sleep and they knock over and burn the whole, everything burns away. But I don't know about if that's a good idea. That was from Cura, where they say, they give you ideas. They say, go to bed when it gets dark, wake up when it gets light. I mean, but I think then you'd be sleeping like 16 hours, because I think we only have about 6 or 7 hours of light. So I think we'd have a lot of sleepy people. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't have all the answers. I try to give all the answers in 1 hour. I try to provide you guys with as much as I can. They say it's easier it's a tie. Dating is the same in LA as in New York. I don't know about that. I think dating's hard no matter where you go. It's just a difficult thing, right? I mean, it's very hard. Speaking of Paul Rudd, I forgot to mention this. He is now in The Shrink Next Door, which is actually a funny. I guess it's a funny series. It's on Apple TV. I don't have Apple TV, but it's streaming now on Apple TV. It's with Paul Rudd and Will Ferrell, so you can't get two funnier people. They do everything together. Anchorman, everything, they're joined at the hip. So Paul Rudd plays this shrink psychologist, and Will Ferrell plays this wealthy, eccentric, neurotic person who goes to seek mental therapy from Paul Rudd. And of course, you would go to the sexiest man alive to seek mental guidance. That's who I would go to. So that's streaming now. It actually is not streaming now. It starts this Friday. So you still have time to add another streaming. If you don't have enough, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Cablevision, HBO Max, Paramount, Peacock, add another one. And then I want you to do me a favor. I want you to sit down, get some nice lighting, and add up every one of those $5, $6 a month little streaming things that they say are just so inexpensive. I'm telling you, if you get rid of your cable, you might be able to have another child. Or send the one you do have for orthodontia work. So he'll have nice teeth. Anyway. See, I try to give you help here.
The Survival Command Center at the Pentagon has disclosed that a...
Run, Forrest, run! Run, Forrest!
It's always good advice to run. When in doubt, run. And actually, here's another good... This was a great movie. The Outsiders is going to be on. You remember The Outsiders? It's a great movie with all the greats. That was the real kind of modern-day Rat Packy, Brat Packy group. C. Thomas Howell, a young Patrick Swayze, a young Tom Cruise, the great Emilio Estevez, and of course, your favorite and mine, Long Island's own Ralph Macchio as Pony Boy. And just such a great movie about two different. It was almost like a West Side Story thing, right? The haves and the have-nots, basically, set in Midwestern Oklahoma. But a really great movie. It was really a breakout for all those guys. That's going to be on Friday. This Friday on. Is it Friday? Where is The Outsiders? No, actually, I think it's on tonight. It's on the TCM, the Classic Movie Channel. Great. Or Turner Classic Movies. Turner Classic Movies. Check out The Outsiders. Really, really good. That was such a great movie. And speaking of the great Ralph Macchio, Cobra Kai's trailer is out. Season 4, December 31st. Everybody else is going to be out partying on New Year's Eve. Streamers, blowers, whatever nonsense, watching a glass giant ball crash on Midtown Manhattan. Listening to, probably Harry Styles will be performing. You got to think he'll be there somewhere on New Year's Eve. And all of the same, Melissa McCarthy, all those nonsense people. I will be in front of my computer. I'll be in front of my TV watching Cobra Kai Season 4. And I'm very excited about that. That's going to be really, really good. I suggest you guys if you don't have Netflix, get it. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. I missed Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford was named Sexiest Man Alive in '98. I think that was a bit too late. He was sexier years earlier. He wasn't sexy in '98 anymore. He was sexier, years earlier when he was, in Star Wars. That's your Harrison Ford. He's sexier in the '80s as Indiana Jones. '98? What was it? They should separate it between senior sexy and youth sexy, right? You're sexy from like 20 to 50 or 20 to 45, whatever, and then you go boom and boom. Just like everything else in life. Everything's separated by age category. I think Sexiest Man should be the same way. If you're going to run some kind of chauvinistic thing, then do it right. And just go all the way. Although, we'll see how that goes. I'm sure they won't take my advice.
Quiet!
That's uncalled for. Anyway, I was also thinking, there was something else I wanted to share with you before I get to my next little charming topic. Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, that should be some really good movies. Check out the movies. I was thinking, and I wanted to share this more when Steve and Sally, and by the way, just want to hope Sally's okay. I had mentioned on our last show Sally was going in for some procedural surgery. You say procedure sounds so much better than surgery, right? It's a procedure. Don't worry, it's just a procedure. Like turning a light bulb is a procedure. Signing this check, it's all a procedure. It's a nice word. Surgery is very scary. Procedure is calming. It's okay. It's just a procedure. Dad, pick a model! It's a storm outside. Come on. Anyway, he took the Sun Cruiser. It was worth risking our lives for the 1951 Sun Cruiser. My dad enjoyed it. Happy birthday, Pops. So I was reminiscing a bit, and I think I will share this again next week. Oh, so Sally's surgery her procedure got postponed till Friday of this week. So we do wish her well and good luck on that. And we'll see how that goes. So I don't know if she'll be with us. I don't know what the recovery time is. I don't know if she'll be with us on Monday in the studio. But we can only hope. I hope it's just a very minor in-out type of thing. Like taking a splinter out of your finger. I hate that. Boy, do I hate getting a splinter. I was thinking of first. Like the first time. What are your memories? Can you remember your very first of things? Like maybe your first day of school? Do you remember that? Your first date? Your first time you dated? Your first date? Do you remember who that was? Your first pet? Maybe? See, I never had a pet. I'm going to wallow here on the show and whine a bit. I never had a pet, but do you remember your first date or something like that? Maybe a first kiss? Hmm. First time flying on an airplane. Do you remember that? It's hard for me because I've done a very good job at blocking anything out earlier than 3 o'clock this afternoon. Um, but maybe your first parole hearing was an enjoyable, the first time you were waiting to hear if you were going to be set free. That's always a beautiful moment. Denied. Your first friend. Do you remember who your first friend was? Who was your first friend? I remember who my first friend is. I believe his name was Jimmy. I wonder, do you ever wonder? I know a lot of these people are finding each other on. I have no desire to find my first friend. I'm just asking if you remember. I'm not looking for them. I don't want to go on Facebook and start looking up this poor guy, which I'm sure he doesn't want to do the same for me. Which he should, though, because I will be in a feature story in Newsday with my dad. I wonder where he is. Maybe your first concert. Do you remember your first concert, the first time you went into, and who did you see? Or your first event, maybe a baseball game, basketball game, or something like that. I remember the first time I went to Yankee Stadium. It was very cool. It was with my dad, my family, the whole family, dad, mom, everybody. Those are maybe the first time you found out that Bobby's not really your son. That's always trouble time in someone's marriage. That's not my kid! It's always a first. Maybe not as memorable as the concerts or the first kiss, but it's always a first. So I'm giving you Square some homework. Go back, think of your first car, your first friend, your first job. Do you remember your first job? Your first legal job. Something you got paid legal tender for. Not raking a lawn or delivering a newspaper, those kind of jobs, or babysitting. Not to disparage those, but something where, a job. Think about that. I want you to go back, think about when you got those first. I'll do something even better than that, and for some reason I can do this. I remember my first string of teachers from kindergarten to 6th grade. I'm going to do it right now for you. I haven't looked them up. Kindergarten, Miss Chapman. I believe she was Miss at the time. Hopefully she's married by now. Miss Chapman. First grade, and this is no lie, her name was Mrs. Pigford. No lie. Second grade, Mrs. Carpin. Third grade, Mrs. Burke. Second grade was Carpin. Fourth grade was Carpin. I forget. Second grade was Mrs. Sheridan. Third grade, Burke. Fourth grade, Carpin. Fifth grade, Miss Salcedo. Sixth grade, Mr. Bergen. There you go. I wish I had some crowd applause. Nothing. All right. How come I get nothing? Whatever. But past that, I don't remember anybody. I don't remember anything in middle school. None of it. I'm not a teacher. I don't even remember going those 2 years or whatever it was. And then I don't remember many high school teachers either. Or college. I couldn't name one college professor I had. I can. Professor Brinkley. Because he's actually on the news all the time. He's a big time author. Not as big as me, but he does okay for himself. He does a lot of that political, presidential stuff. Not the humor that I do, that you all come to love and enjoy. I'll be doing a book discussion. I think I mentioned this at the Massapequa Public Library. We have a date. It is January 8th at the Massapequa Public Library. I will be there signing my book, talking a little Jack LaLanne, and other things. I'll answer any of your questions. Come on down. Feel free. we're going to discuss lots. We're going to talk a little about fitness. I am going to discuss the book. I'm going to talk a little bit about the book, which I better read because I forgot everything about the book. I better read in case somebody asks me questions about the book. It's good to know what you wrote. But that's going to be pretty fun. That's a Saturday, I believe. Boy, that sounds scary. In 2022. Oh boy. Try writing that date down. Scary, right? So we will be doing that. I'll be having the books there for sale. I'm not giving them away, but I'll be selling them. Maybe at a little discount. I'll see how I feel. It depends. I'm going to do it on a person by person. I'm going to judge if I find they're a nice person or somebody like that. I'm guessing the people there will, if they're signing up to go to this, they probably are. I've heard of Jack LaLanne. I think most people have heard of Jack LaLanne, right? The fitness guy, right? So he will. Jack won't be there, unfortunately. He has not. He's gone to that great pull-up machine in the sky. But I will be there. Hopefully, again, it's a long way off. I'm not a commitment person, as you all know. It's very hard for me to obligate myself, commit myself. Even though I should be committed, it's hard to commit myself to a. Speaking of committing myself, I almost did that once. I was in an apartment hunt once, and I saw this beautiful apartment complex. I look like apartment complexes. Beautiful. It was gorgeous. Wantor Woods. It was right here in Wantor Woods. I go in, and I go right to the front desk, and I say, hello, do you have any vacancies? And she asked me, well, do you have a prescription, and what is your diagnosis? And I said, what? She said, this is a mental health home. Are you admitting yourself, sir? And then I didn't say no right away. I pondered. I said, no, I'm okay. As much as I was tempted to get a nice room, maybe by a window, with somebody screaming hysterically as a roommate, couldn't do it. So the Wantor Woods turned out is a mental health home. It's not an apartment complex. This is why I'm having trouble finding an apartment. What are you going to do? But so I am on the hunt for that. Oh, there was something. You remember the first time you flew on an airplane? Scared? Are you an airplane flyer? Some people. I talked to a friend of mine today, a client, and she loves to fly. I don't know who loves to fly on an airplane. She really loves to fly on an airplane. I mean, I'm not scared. I just don't really have any way either or. Like, I've flown to California. When it's a long flight, it starts to get a little unnerving, right? You've been up there for a long time. You start feeling like you just want to jump out over one of the states and hope you land on something soft. But it's hard to sit in a plane across the country. That's a long flight. 1 hour, hour and a half, 6 hours on a plane is enormous. And then you're hoping they put enough gas in. Did they cheap out on the gas? Because sometimes I do that. Give me 12. Should I go $15? Just go 12. That'll get me where I'm going. You hope the pilot didn't do that. You hope they didn't do that at American Airlines. Should we go another gallon? That should make it. Just if there's no traffic in the air, if there's no traffic in the sky, let's not fill it. Well, a half a tank should get you there. Right? How many times, and don't lie to me, how many times have you looked at that needle? It's cold outside. It's the morning, especially in the morning. And you're like, oh my God, I knew to put gas in last night. I didn't want to. I said I would do it in the morning. It is the morning. And the needle is just a little above a little less than a quarter. And you're like, I could make it. I don't want to do this. Especially in the winter, right? But no, throw that gas in the night before. Fill it up. This way you don't have to worry. Get a Visa, a carte blanche, whatever $500 it takes to fill up your gas tank. I wish I could give you some gas stations that are cheaper. I have not found many. They're all about the same price. They're all pretty pricey. Maybe we'll do that for the next show. I'll start going around looking for cheap gas for you guys, and do that. But that's, I introduced my parents to the great comedian Sebastian Maniscalco, and they really. My dad is funny. The guy comes on and he's doing, he's not warmed up yet. He's doing the first couple jokes. My dad goes, "The audience is not even laughing. This guy stinks." It's no patience. My mom seemed to like him a little bit more, but he's really funny. Check out some of Sebastian Maniscalco's. He just came out with another set. He had another show just recently. I forget what it was, but his stuff is always funny. It's very physical in his comedy. Really good. I like Sebastian Maniscalco. So check him out. I love introducing comics to people, and that's what I did. I wonder if I could find my third grade teacher again. She gave me a B in social studies. I was a little better than that. I was definitely a B plus. I'd like to go back in time and find some of those teachers now that I remember all their names. Hold on a second. I had something else I wanted to share with you that was going to be on, and I thought it was pretty interesting. Well, here, I was going to say this. There was another steakhouse. Oh, well, here's another one, Teller's, which is in Islip. So they give you another choice. But again, I'm not a steak person. Oh, look at this. Friday, November 12th. I missed it. Neil Diamond and Linda Ronstadt. There it is. I totally missed it. Linda Ronstadt and Neil Diamond. This is great. We're performing at Sergio's, the great Sergio's in Massapequa. Neil Diamond was actually Saturday night. I should have took my dad to this. And Linda Ronstadt was last night. Boy, they have no shame over at Sergio's. No shame. And they don't even, I'm telling you, but they don't even tell you who the joke is. So people, I'm sure, are going there thinking Neil Diamond is performing for $22.35 and a full course dinner of mussels marinara. I'm going to be getting some minestrone soup tonight. Oh boy, do I feel like a nice... It's definitely soup time. This is the season for soup. Once it gets a little chilly, you bring out the soup. It should be good. So we'll be taking a look at that. So definitely, this is what I always like to wrap up and tell everybody what I will be going to see, either Ghostbusters or Clifford, the Big Red Dog. I know when Steve gets back, he's going to want to see one of those, or probably Clifford. I know Steve. Steve's a big Clifford, the Big Red Dog fan. I'm a big, I like Ghostbusters, either or. Boy, I can't wait to see our pictures in Newsday. I'm very jazzed about it. If they screw me, I will never let Newsday live it down. I'm giving you, this is to you, Newsday. You got one shot, baby. You mess this up, oh, it's on. It'll be full game on. I will do every show until mercifully. So please come through for me, for my dad. He was really excited about this. It's going to be famous. This is it. So watch those movies. I gave you homework. I want you to think about some of your firsts. We're going to talk to Steve and Sally next week. I'm going to test them. See if they remember their first boyfriend, their first girlfriend, their first kiss, their first date, first prom, all of that jazz. I'm sure Steve remembers his first slice of pizza. I don't know if he can. There's been many since. I got on Steve because Steve posted on Instagram visiting In-N-Out Burger, which is a famous burger joint in California. So, of course, Steve posts it, and he's sitting out. It's sunny. He's at a big In-N-Out Burger. And, of course, I said, of course you're there. But, so I gave it to him a little bit, and he got a little... He's like, leave me alone. I'm on vacation. This guy's always on vacation. He's never here. He's not... I'm always here for you. I'm the square that's here. He's the square that's always on vacation. Sally's always getting some work done. I'll tell you, boy, if it wasn't for me, you guys would be watching this right now. You'd be watching an hour of that. So it's 7:29. It's almost time. Can you believe it? to grab all of that angst off the shelf and put it back on your shoulders like I told you. Remember I said for 1 hour you get to have some relief. Put all your problems on a shelf. Now you can get them back. Now you can take them back in about a minute as I close out. I know, I'm sorry. But it's okay. Because I don't know what happened to my... I was really... I was hoping that my... whatchamacallit, my blurps, sometimes they go out. I don't know why. It's a technical issue I'm having. But at least we got some of them in earlier. I was able to play some of the Paul Rudd stuff. Once again, congratulations to Paul Rudd. I mean, he deserves it. People who have everything deserve more. That's what I say. It's not enough to be a multi-million-dollar, famous, successful. Have more. Just more. People should have more. People like that should just have constant gratification, constant love, constant money, and other people should have nothing. Other people should wait on by a red light, traffic light for 20 minutes of their life. That's fair. But nobody said life was fair except for the Steve Squared Show. It's only fair for 1 hour a day on Mondays. And once again, don't forget, so you got your movies. I gave you first assignments. Don't go see that movie Belfast. Don't go see that. I wouldn't even, don't bother. Don't go for steak either. Too expensive, and red meat's not great for you. You know, have something lighter. Maybe some nice seafood. Go for something light. And here's my last tip. If you're going for seafood, not at a deli. Don't get yourself a clam sandwich at your local deli. Please. If you've learned nothing else from this hour, do not get seafood from a deli. Make sure you go to a nice, seafood restaurant. Something that, that's what their specialty is. Right? You wouldn't come to me to do heart surgery. I wouldn't say, hey, you need heart surgery? I didn't perform surgery on Sally. I told her to go to a professional. Okay? I wouldn't do that to Sally. Don't do it to yourself. With that little bit of tip from the Steve Squared Show, for myself, Funny Man Stevie K, and myself, Funny Man Stevie K, and of course, the great and wonderful Funny Man Stevie K, I wish all my squares out there a wonderfully safe, happy, try to see if you can get that happy. Go watch Clifford the Big Red Dog and be happy. Have a wonderful week. We will see you next Monday in the studio at 6:30 on the Steve Squared Show at govsradio.com, on our YouTube channel, Govs Comedy Club Radio YouTube, and Facebook, of course. Can't leave out Facebook. We're everywhere and anywhere. We got it all covered for you. And have a wonderful week once again. Thanks for watching. Enjoy. Have a great night, guys.
I went to a shrink to analyze my dreams. She says it's like a sex spring.